Rao, help me. But I don't think you're real. I don't think any of this is real.
You should have stayed in whatever happy fantasy the Black Mercy granted you.
Happy! Do you know what I've lost?
For the Man Who Has Everything is an episode in Justice League Unlimited where Superman is given something that he has rarely, if ever, been allowed to have: a completely ordinary life. Krypton never exploded. He grows up on his homeworld, has a wife, a son, a home, and a family. He is not Superman in the way the world knows him. He is simply Clark, or Kal-El, a husband and a father. For a brief time, he gets to experience the life that might have existed if fate had not taken Krypton from him. The tragedy is that when he discovers it as a fantasy, he has to give it all up. He chooses the painful truth of reality over the beautiful lie of the Black Mercy. And that choice may be one of the greatest sacrifices Superman ever makes.
And I have to go now.
Daddy.
What makes the fantasy so devastating is that it is constructed from Superman's deepest desires. The Black Mercy does not simply show him something pleasant. It gives him the life he might have wanted more than anything. Krypton exists. His parents are still part of his world. He has a wife and a young son. He has a home on a peaceful farm. There is no constant expectation that he must save the world. There are no villains waiting for him. There is no responsibility to protect humanity every hour of every day. Instead, there is family, peace, and normality.
Oh, please. I couldn't get you off this farm if... Eat your breakfast, Van. You and Dad don't want to be late visiting Grandpa Jor-El.
Superman's fantasy appears to combine almost every version of home that Clark Kent has ever known or longed for. There are elements of Krypton, the world of his birth, but there is also the simplicity of Smallville and the emotional familiarity associated with Metropolis. His wife can even be interpreted as an idealized combination of the women who represent different parts of Superman's life, particularly Lois Lane and Lana Lang. Lana is associated with his childhood and Smallville, while Lois is associated with his adult life and Metropolis. In the Black Mercy's fantasy, those distinctions seem to disappear. Superman does not have to choose between different pieces of his life. The dream gives him a world in which everything fits together. But more importantly than all of that, he has a son. Van-El represents something particularly painful because he embodies a future Superman never got to experience.
Van, when you were born, it was the happiest day of my life.
It's okay, Krypto.
How many times do I have to tell you, Van?
Sorry, Dad. I can't believe you left all this to live on a farm.
It's a nice place to visit, but I don't want to scare you, Van. You are everything I ever wanted in a son.
Superman knows what it means to lose a family. He lost his biological parents and his entire civilization when Krypton exploded. He was sent away as an infant and arrived on Earth alone, eventually being raised by Jonathan and Martha Kent. He became a hero because of the values they gave him, but he never had the opportunity to grow up on Krypton and experience the ordinary life that was taken from him. Van-El, therefore, represents more than simply a child. He represents an entire future that Superman was denied. The Black Mercy gives him that future and all of the happiness that it entails, and then it takes it away. Superman does not immediately want to leave the fantasy, and why would he? The fantasy gives him everything he could possibly want. There is nothing inherently wrong with wanting to be happy, to have a family, or to live peacefully. Superman's desire for such a life does not make him selfish. In fact, it makes him more human.
Sorry's not always enough. We have to...
Live up to our responsibilities. I know.
This is everything I ever wanted in a life. But I've got responsibilities, Van.
Beneath the symbol, the cape, and the incredible powers, Clark Kent is someone who wants to love and be loved. He wants a home. He wants people waiting for him when he returns at the end of the day. That is why his realization is so painful. As the illusion begins to fall apart, Superman understands that he cannot remain in this world. The tremors and inconsistencies in Krypton become impossible to ignore. Eventually, he realizes that Van-El is not real. His son, whom he has grown to love within the fantasy, is an invention of his own mind. Yet the fact that Van-El is imaginary does not make Superman's feelings imaginary. The love he feels for his son is real. The happiness he experienced is real. The grief he experiences when he has to leave is real. That distinction is what makes the scene so tragic. Superman is not simply waking up from a pleasant dream. He is saying goodbye to a person he has emotionally experienced as his son.
When I first saw your beautiful little face, tiny fingers squeezed my hand so tight, like you never wanted to let go. And I have to go now.
When Superman tearfully tells Van-El goodbye as Krypton begins to collapse around them, he is effectively mourning an entire lifetime. He is mourning his son, he is mourning his wife, he is mourning his parents and his homeworld. He is mourning the ordinary life that could have been his. He is mourning the possibility of being someone other than Superman. And yet he chooses to wake up. That choice is fundamental to Superman's character. He chooses reality even though reality hurts. The fantasy represents everything Superman wants, while reality represents everything Superman owes. In the fantasy, he has the freedom to simply live. In reality, he has responsibilities. Mongul is attacking, Wonder Woman is in danger, Batman is fighting to save him, Earth needs Superman. The world cannot afford for him to remain inside his perfect dream. He does not choose reality because reality is better. He chooses it because it is real, and because there are people who need him.
He'll kill her, Clark, and then he'll kill us all. Shake it off. Come back to us. Please. Yes!
To most people who don't understand Superman, his greatest power is usually portrayed as his strength. He can fly, move at incredible speeds, survive almost anything, and is stronger than nearly everything else. But none of those powers help him make this decision. His greatest act of strength in the episode is emotional. He has to willingly surrender the happiest life he has ever experienced. He has to choose a life of responsibility over a life of happiness. That is an incredibly difficult thing to ask of anyone, yet he makes it. It is not about defeating Mongul. Superman's most difficult battle occurs inside his own mind. Mongul cannot defeat Superman by overpowering him physically. Instead, the Black Mercy gives Superman exactly what he wants and uses that happiness as a prison. The temptation is not fear, it is fulfillment. Superman has to defeat the desire to stay. That makes his eventual return to reality profoundly sad. He is not escaping a nightmare, he is escaping paradise.
You should have stayed in whatever happy fantasy the Black Mercy granted you.
Happy! Do you know what I've lost?
There is also something tragic about the fact that Superman gets to see exactly what he has lost. Normally, someone can cope with the loss of an unrealized future because they never experienced it. Superman does not have that luxury. He knows what it feels like to wake up beside his wife. He knows what it feels like to be a father. He knows what it feels like to live peacefully on Krypton. Once he wakes up, he cannot unknow that. The fantasy has shown him the life he could have had, and he has to carry the knowledge that he will probably never have it for the rest of his life. Perhaps that is the compromise Superman is forced to make. He cannot bring Van-El back with him. He cannot restore Krypton. He cannot live forever as the husband and father he imagined himself to be. But he can carry the love that those things represented into the real world. He cannot preserve the fantasy, but he can preserve what it meant to him. He cannot have the life he dreamed about, but he can remember it.
I promise you, I'll never forget.
This is what makes For the Man Who Has Everything such a powerful story about Superman. It recognizes that Superman does not have everything. In fact, there are things he can never have. He cannot bring his civilization back. He cannot undo his parents' deaths. He cannot recover the childhood he lost. He cannot simply walk away from the responsibilities that come with being Superman. The Black Mercy gives him a chance to pretend that all of those losses never happened. And Superman says no. He chooses a world that is imperfect, painful, and full of responsibility because it is the world where the people he loves actually exist. He chooses Batman and Wonder Woman. He chooses Earth. He chooses his responsibilities. He chooses to be Superman even though he knows exactly what it would feel like to stop being Superman. Superman has finally been shown his perfect life, and he has to give it up. He does not give it up because he did not love it. He gives it up because he did.
I've watched every step, every struggle. But Van, I promise you, I'll never forget.
The Black Mercy does not simply show Superman his greatest desire. It forces him to confront the cost of being a hero. Superman could have had a wife, a son, a home, a living Krypton, and a peaceful existence. He could have been ordinary. Instead, he returns to a world where he has to fight Mongul, protect humanity, and continue carrying the burden of being Earth's greatest hero. And he does it knowing exactly what he has sacrificed. Superman chooses reality not because it is the life he would prefer, but because it is the life that is his to live. The Black Mercy offers him paradise without responsibility, while reality demands sacrifice. Superman chooses sacrifice. And perhaps that is the clearest definition of his heroism. Superman is not heroic because he has no desire for a normal life. He is heroic because he wants that life desperately, is finally given the chance to have it, and still chooses to wake up.